My name is Thilaga, and I'm with Justice for Sisters. Justice for Sisters is a network collective that works on gender and sexuality, and we focus on the human rights of transgender persons. So this includes transgender women and transgender men, and we generally work on LGBTIQ issues. And we also do a lot of human rights documentation and workshops, and we also provide legal support for trans women who need legal support. And we also engage in research and also like public education programs on gender and sexuality. I think that some of the biggest challenges that we face in terms of the work that we do has to do with laws and policies in Malaysia on sexual orientation, gender identity, gender expression, and also criminalization of like consensual sexual acts, right? For example, the Penal Code 377 criminalizes consensual sexual acts between adults. So I think the laws and policies in this country sort of have like a chilling effect on like the human rights of LGBT people in this country. So these laws and policies end up affecting right to employment, right to housing, right to education, acceptance in the family. It also affects the way LGBT people are portrayed in the media. Since 2012, we've also seen an increase of state-sponsored and state-funded anti-LGBT activities. These include, programs such as Mukayam, which is a rehabilitation camp for transgender people, and also the Mukayam camp is also available for gay men and also lesbians, and also we've seen also a lot of programs such as like boot camps for like school children based on their gender expression, and this happened in like I think 2010, where 66 boys were like picked out from school based on their gender expression to attend this like boot camp to mend them up. And also I think aside from these camps, we've also seen a lot of activities in the past few years, especially in terms of like introduction of manuals, release of publications and apps, and we've also seen videos and things like that, and most of these efforts are centered on this idea that LGBT people can be corrected, LGBT people can be changed, right? So sexual orientation, gender identity, essentially, basically in their minds can be corrected. I mean, of course, we are happy with the outcome of the election. I think, we are all well aware of the fact that the previous administration had like really a lot of, issues in terms of corruption, in terms of like abuse of power, consolidation of power, and many things, right? And we also saw a lot of regression of human rights with the previous administration, and I think like some of the election outcomes as well would also enable us to like have a bit more space to like have more conversations, right? I think we have more pro-human rights elected representatives in the state assembly and also in parliament. So I think this gives us an opportunity to increase the standard of human rights in general, and including the standard of human rights of like LGBTIQ persons in Malaysia. With this composition or configuration of people, I think there's a lot more room to present facts. There's a lot more room for rational conversation, right? Because I think one of the problems that we had before this was a lot of rejection and denial of like facts. We couldn't, like a lot of the evidence that we produced were not looked at, right? Like for example, with LGBT people, I think for us it's as with many other human rights groups, we believe in evidence-based work, and it is, and And for LGBT people, we experience a lot of multiple forms of discrimination, violence, marginalization, and there are many impacts, right? Real impacts in terms of like poverty, increased health issues, and well-being. So I think we want to be able to. I think with this present administration and configuration, I think it would be easier to present facts and evidence and sort of have like these conversations and engagements.